Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Kevin Sumlin. Cats are home again on Saturday night, hosting the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Arizona Stadium. Kickoff set for 7:30. Hope to see everybody there. Cats coming off a big win over NAU. And Coach, one thing that stood out, if my math is correct, you had 72 players that saw action on Saturday. How valuable is that just for the general building of the team?
Well, it's great. It's great for morale, for guys to get in and play. It's a great experience, and to play meaningful minutes. We had a lot of guys, and when you have numbers like that, sometimes it's, guy gets in 3-4 plays or maybe a series. We had, it's helpful in a number of regards. Colin Schooler didn't play the whole second half, but that also gave us the opportunity to play a lot of different combinations of people, just to use him as an example. So we were able to rest some of our better players and then get some real game action and some real meaningful minutes for a lot of players who haven't played a lot.
It's a weekly question, but depth at running back again rose to the surface when we saw more than 5 guys run the ball, but your top 5 and getting Bam Smith back as well. What did you like about the running game?
Well, I thought it was great. For Gary Brightwell to get in there and show some real speed, breakaway speed, gives him confidence. JJ being up over 100 yards, but the Bam Smith coming back, I think he adds some things. Tilford in short yardage, and then we were talking about Wiley 2 weeks ago. Heck, we couldn't even hardly get him the ball this week. So, I think what they've done is we're trying to get guys on the field. You're seeing more 2-back sets, take some pressure off of some of the young wide receivers because these guys can play. They can catch. You have Bam with his one-handed touchdown catch, and so they can alleviate some pressure. They can make guys miss in the screen game, but they can also line up in the slot.
Through 2 games, your defense has almost intercepted as many passes as it did last year throughout the course of the season. What is better about the defense finding those balls right now?
I think it's been interesting. We look at it both ways. I think our turnover margin is I think we're +6 right now for the season. So our defense is doing a better job of creating those turnovers. Catching the ball instead of just knocking it down. We had a bunch of drops last year in the secondary, but I think the other plus is our offense hanging on to the ball, and so those kind of turnover margins, that number, if we can continue with that, that's going to only help us win.
You moved J.B. Brown inside on the defensive line. You told us after the bowl game you like his speed in there. After you've gone back and looked at the film, what did you like about that alignment?
Well, I think we tried to get our best guys on the field. With moving him back down inside, gave us some real speed and gives us some flexibility. With some of these bigger teams that we're going to face, I don't know that we're going to do that all the time, but certainly it can be a third down weapon with him inside as a 3 technique, and the rotation outside with Jalen, and just putting our 4 best guys on the field, and without a doubt, JB's one of them.
All right, Texas Tech coming to town, Big 12 team, Red Raiders. You've coached in Texas. You know about that program. What will we see from Texas Tech on Saturday?
Matt Wells does a great job. We've known each other for a long time, and a lot of the coaches on that staff, and David Yost, their offensive coordinator, had a lot of games when he was at Missouri. They're doing a nice job. They're 2-0. They got quarterbacks playing really well, completing 71% of his passes. Basher's just a nightmare matchup outside as a receiver. 6'5", 6'6", and can run. They got really good team speed. So it's interesting. I was looking. You talk about travel and maps. Heck, we're closer here in Tucson to Lubbock than we were in Houston or in College Station. So, they'll get over here, and it'll be a Saturday night game. They'll be ready to roll.
What is it about Texas? You're very familiar with Texas high school football, and of course, the schools in Texas recruit heavily there. You've recruited a lot in Texas. What is it about Texas high school football?
Well, I don't know. It's like for me. going to high school in Indiana, it was the same like about basketball in Indiana. So, it's just one of those things that a lot of it's about the community. Kids are playing in a certain community, and then going to that high school, it's that community event, and everybody's involved in it. It's why they call it Friday Night Lights, right? So it's kind of what you do in Texas, and they take tremendous pride in it.
One other quick note: your team got off to a much better start against NAU than in Game 1. How important is that, or is that as big a deal sometimes as we think?
Yeah, it's a lot of times it is. Everybody says it's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's both of those things, right? To win quality games and beat quality opponents. But certainly you'd like to start the way we did, start fast the way we did last Saturday, and if we could, and then sustain it, which we did not do in the second half. So. There's room for improvement, but certainly we want to start fast this week.
All right, Cats and the Red Raiders, Saturday night, 7:30 at the stadium, and more of Wildcat Weekly right after this.
Life is what you make it, full of endless possibilities and opportunities at every corner. In our fast-paced world, where you bank matters. Hughes helps you with what matters most, delivering dreams, adding value to your life, for you, your family, and your future. We are local, rooted in the community you call home. Join us on the journey of life. Hughes Federal Credit Union, recognized by Forbes as one of Arizona's best credit unions 2 years in a row.
Wildcat Football Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Forbes ranked Hughes one of the best credit unions in Arizona 2 years in a row. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/best.
We continue with Wildcat Weekly. Our guest is Drew Dixon, sophomore wide receiver for the Wildcats. 65 points on Saturday against NAU. What's the highest scoring game you've ever played in, or was that it?
That was it right there. So, we expected to put up some points and get some guys in the end zone, and we did that. So.
Fast start for both offense and defense, but I know Coach Sumlin talked about wanting to get off to a faster start. How do you do that? Is it a mindset, or is there something else that goes into it?
It's a lot, actually. It's not just a mindset, it's preparation from practice. We've been emphasizing that all week, fast start. So, we come into practice, getting the tempo going, and we're going fast in practice, and then it showed on the field. We've been doing that all week, so it's just our preparation.
You talked about tempo, and a lot of teams are running a faster tempo now, like Arizona. Do you like that as a player, to not huddle and rush to the line and be ready for the next play?
Absolutely. It's hard for the defense. It tires them out. It throws off their coverage sometimes. So, absolutely. I like doing it.
Do you ever look across the line and look at the guy lined up at you, and does he look tired sometimes? Is that part of the joy when you see him?
Yeah, they're just you can just tell they're like, dang, they're going fast, and we're ready, and sometimes they're still not even ready with their coverage. So, it is good to see that.
All right, let's go back into practice now when you learn that tempo. And, of course, the plays have to come in quickly and be called, and you're ready. Take us through the learning curve, I guess, of being able to prepare to run that fast of an offense.
So, it starts in the film room. It starts in the meeting rooms. We learn all the signals for every play. We learn every play, watch some of them on film. And, then once we get to the field, we have a little walkthrough. So, we'll really know the plays and what's going to be called. So then by the time we get on the field, we already know what every signal is, so we just line up, look at the signalers, and we're used to it now just because we've been working it so much. So yeah.
Okay, so during practice, of course, you get a chance to work with all the quarterbacks, and your touchdown catch was from Grant Gunnell on Saturday, the freshman playing his first game. Tell us about playing with you've played with Khalil, of course, but tell us about playing with Grant on the field.
Well, it's great to see Grant just because he's my good friend off the field. So, he's been doing great in practice, and, we've, played a lot together in practice. So for him to finally get his feet wet and get on the field and throw me and him to have our first touchdowns together, that was real cool.
Being a hometown guy, what does that mean to you, having family, friends, etc., that can make the short drive to watch you play.
I mean, it means a lot. You know, I have a lot of support here in Tucson, and, you know, I'm very appreciative of that. And, you know, it's awesome to see, you know, my teachers and everybody that's seen me growing up from a little kid to now. Like, it's awesome to know that they're still supporting me after all these years.
Quick scouting report on Texas Tech. Coach says they've got a very fast defense. Anything in particular, any major keys that you look at going into the game?
Oh, yeah, they're fast, and they're physical, and they're big, long, like to grab. So, you know, I just got to keep working my technique and fundamentals and keep watching film, just really studying my defender.
Right, all about preparation.
Absolutely.
Drew Dixon, our guest here on Wildcat Weekly, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you for watching Wildcat Football Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tucson, football season is here and it's time to get fired up. Get to Arizona Stadium and back the A.
Make it a date night. Bring your friends, grab your kids, and back the A.
Make some noise and experience the excitement live. Back the A.
Saturday's game versus Texas Tech is a whiteout. Wear white. Get tickets at ArizonaWildcats.com/FB or call 621-CATS. That's 621-CATS. Touchdown, Arizona!
Bear down and back the A.